Hey there, YouTube. Welcome to Big Mike Beard Wisdom. So, we're in the Astra, and today we're going to talk about air filters. And not just any air filter, we're going to talk about a cabin air filter. So, a lot of newer cars have what's called a cabin air filter. And basically, your HVAC system has a way of filtering the air that helps keeps weird stuff out of it. So, if you've ever been in an older car where you can kind of hear like a pine needle type thing in the blower motor, which makes like a playing card and a bike wheel kind of spoke noise. A cabin air filter helps to fight that. And a lot of times your cabin air filter will filter air whenever you set it to recirculate. Depending on the make and model, depends on where your cabin air filter is. A lot of them are behind the glove box. Some vehicles are pretty simple. They'll have a trap door somewhere where you can just access it real quick. And if they're not in the glove box, sometimes it's just slightly underneath. But no such luck here. The first step that I'm going to do is take out these 4 screws. So there's one here, one down there, one over here, and one right there. And what I'm hoping is that once I get those loose, the whole thing will just kind of drop down. Those 4 screws are just T20 Torx. So I just used the T20 Torx screwdriver. Took them out real quick. And then basically, you're just going to give it like a little bit of a tug. And it all but falls out. Then there's this little electrical connector over here they got to disconnect. So it just pulls right off. You can take your glove box, set it aside. And that is actually your blower motor. So that's the motor that moves all the air. And over here is where we're going to get into the cabin air filter. And a lot of times people think about their engine air filter because it matters for like fuel economy. And a lot of people don't always think about their cabin air filter and getting that changed. But this is important too, because seriously, you can be growing a civilization in here. But cleaning this out can save you headaches down the road, because having a clean cabin air filter and cleaning all the junk and stuff out of here can help keep any kind of like rust from forming or oxidation and stuff on your actual AC components and causing a problem that would require the entire dash to come out and be really expensive. It could also kind of help you with moving air. So if you're like, man, it just doesn't seem like I'm getting the output out of the vents like I should be, it could be because your cabin air filter's clogged. Plus, there's always a chance to upgrade. If your normal cabin air filter isn't a charcoal-based one, if you can get a charcoal-based one, a lot of times that'll help if you've got something where maybe you drive past like a sewer plant or something stinky, like a paper mill, you know, something like that. This can actually kind of filter out some of those smells if it has the charcoal in it. And then I think there's just these 3 bolts. I don't see a 4th anywhere. But I'll take those out and we should be able to see what the cabin air filter looks like. I got those 3 screws out. And then real quick up here, there's just a couple little fingers. So this right here. And another one over here. And we should be able to take this out and see what it looks like. Now I'm kind of hoping this is like pretty monumental, because sometimes these are just horrible inside here. But it's also possible someone's changed one of these once before and it might not be that bad. Oh, feels like there's a little finger down here too. So pop the little finger down there loose. All right. So this doesn't look horrible. Because a lot of times you'll see where there'll be a whole bunch of dirt lined up back there. So someone's probably changed this once before sometime. Now, I would probably say that this has been in here a while though, because this does not look like a charcoal one. This should be all white if it was nice and clean. Oh, yep, kind of gross. Not super gross, but So this should all be white and not that dirty. But you can see quite a lot of stuff fell out. So whenever you go to do this, a shop vac is very handy. And it's nice to be able to reach in there, and especially if you can kind of snake it around inside and kind of clean it out. With this being like a German car, I went with this Molly Original. And this one's pretty cool because it has the charcoal in it. And you can also see which way the airflow is supposed to go. And the strange part is that this isn't even the front part. This is the front. So you can see all the dirt and dust inside of here. So the fact that there's stuff on this side shows you that this might not have been in either 100% correctly, or whenever this last one was installed, they didn't vacuum it out, so a little bit of stuff got back behind it. But yeah, the front part of this is definitely pretty dirty. Alright, so that's in there pretty good. So now it's just a matter of reversing the process. The top fingers and the bottom finger all snapped in. And the holes are all lined up. Now that's all together. Before you wind up putting the actual glove box and everything finished back together, you always want to hit a nice easy stopping point and then go ahead and run it. The reason why is in case you have to take this back apart because something's going on, this is a nice easy spot to do it at. All you're going to do is basically just go key on, turn the AC on, and listen for any weird noises. So any noises that you didn't have before, anything like clicking, or like maybe a pine needle or leaves fell into the blower motor or something like that, and it's causing some sort of strange noise, that you would have to take this back apart and vacuum back out. But right now, everything sounds fine. Alright, and just like that, we're all done. So, cabin air filter's in, hands are a little dirty, arms are a little dirty, but it's one of those things where it's important to replace that just because it helps your HVAC system and can help prevent any kind of weird issues you may develop down the line. Also, your cabin air filter can actually grow kind of funky, especially during the wet season. So if, it's raining a lot and you're using the AC or the heater, that can get wet and stay wet even when you shut the car off. So now you've got this wet, watery mass that's just begging to grow stuff, especially if it's already kind of growing stuff. And just a quick tip, if you do wind up having your cabin air filter changed by somebody, I'd recommend maybe taking anything out of your glove box that you don't want dropped, broken, or misplaced, or accidentally vacuumed up as they're cleaning. That way it makes it simple for everybody, both the tech and yourself. You don't have to worry about, going, hey, where'd this thing go? So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Maybe get your cabin air filter done. I'll check you next time. Remove and put the glove box back in. So we can go ahead, put the glove box back in, and close her up, call it a day. Oh, so anyone that's had an older car, so anyone that had